It's the end of an era, Erica. Did you
I
tune in?
know. I did. I tuned in. I clowned. I thought we were gonna hear an announcement or something, so I clowned. Stayed
Mm-hmm.
up late, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm sad. Like I seriously watched like every single one on a live stream, so I'm so sad.
It's funny. I did not stay up, but I did clown. I knew I wasn't going to stay up. I was like, there's no way. This thing starts at 11 p.m. my time. Absolutely
Yeah.
not. But I did expect to wake up to some
Mhm.
form of an announcement. So when I woke up and there was no announcement, I was like, Taylor, girl, you got us again.
I know, she got us again. That's what I was gonna say. She knows what she's doing, and she got us again.
Pretty much every single rumor we heard,
Was fake.
every Easter egg, every countdown, every clock color, wardrobe choice, whatever was all nothing.
It was all nothing. I agree. And I fell for every single one.
Oh, 100%. And
And
we
I
were
would
all
again.
clowning. And you know what? Thank you for the memories. The Easter eggs were
Thank
the fun
you.
we had along the way. So thank
It's
you,
so
Taylor.
true.
Hello and welcome to Two Queens, Two Crowns. I'm your host, KJ Miller, founder, lecturer, and content creator.
And I'm Erica Manganelli, pop culture humorist and content creator.
And today on the show, it is a Queen Things episode. So, as always, we are diving into your social comments about our prior episode on Beyonce and Taylor. Then we're going to get into some updates. And boy, do we have some updates on our, our queens. Oh boy. And then we're going to end with our parking lot. Lots to talk about there as well. So, I think it's going to be a fun episode. As usual, we'll be here for a good time, not a long time. And
Mhm.
we'll get into all of it after this. All right, guys, I hope you are enjoying this video. I'm going to take 20 seconds to tell you all about my course, Startup Starter Kit. I designed this course so that everyone could launch the startup of their dreams. And I literally teach you how to turn the problems you've spotted in everyday life into real business opportunities. So head to kjmiller.co to learn more and enroll. All right, so let's dive in. We got a fair number of comments on the Beyonce and Taylor video. We got a fair number of comments over on TikTok. Just a few over on YouTube, but we did get quite a long one on YouTube, and I want to start there. And I will also just say the general tenor of the comments was mostly people agreeing with us, if you can believe that.
Yeah, I saw the ones on TikTok, and I liked a lot of your comments, and
Mm-hmm.
I was like, okay, we're not getting dragged
Yeah.
over here.
We got almost no dragging. So
Mhm.
I don't know if it's some sort of Christmas miracle,
Mhm.
but a lot of
Yeah.
people were in agreement with us last week. So I'm happy about that. But I
Mhm.
do want to take the time to read a comment we got on YouTube from a user that goes by the name Justney Spears 8310.
Okay, let's do it.
And it is quite long. So grab a snack.
Okay. I'm
All
excited.
right. Justney says,
Mhm.
what makes someone a great pop star in the 21st century is very interesting to me. What is not interesting is 6 or 7 members of Billboard magazine doing a ranking based on inconsistent metrics to get a rise out of folks under 30. And mission accomplished. Because if we're going by who is most successful, then why make a list at all? I'm going to say one thing, and I love that they started that way. I'm going to say one thing.
I thought that was you interjecting at
No,
first.
this is what they
Okay.
wrote, okay? And I love it. Taylor is in a leotard on the Eras tour for why? Beyonce. Single Ladies was a cultural reset. The reason why we see all the girlies in a leotard, i.e., Dua Lipa, J-Lo, Britney in Vegas, now Sabrina Carpenter to Tyla, wearing leotards is because of Beyonce. No, she didn't invent the leotard in stage performances. See Tina Turner, Madonna, and Cher. She reinvented it. Then they go on. Beyonce preserves what it means to be a pop star, and all the girlies course corrected, and she set the standard on what it means to be a pop superstar in the 21st century. Beyonce took pieces from Diana Ross, Tina, Prince, Michael, Madonna, and Janet to preserve pop excellency in all 4 quadrants: artistry slash reinvention, success slash marketing, singing slash dancing, and cultural impact slash longevity. I love that they came up with 4 quadrants. Like,
This is a dissertation.
this is a dissertation, Justney Spears. Thank you. Okay, they continue.
I'm into it.
being on time, transcending time, but also paying homage to the past. Doing all three things at the exact same time and living in a moment and being the moment in a current moment is what a great pop star does. And that is what Beachella did. Going from Say My Name to Texas Hold'em is an arc. Kendrick recently dropped a #1 surprise album because of who? Beyonce. We all remember where we were when that self-titled digital dropped. I will say Taylor excels in two quadrants, success/marketing and cultural impact/longevity. But Swifties love to make this a numbers game and pocket watch her sales for the last 4 years. And to that I say there's no TS album that has outsold Adele's 21. So does that mean we should place Adele higher on the list when she admittedly evades pop stardom? Yes, TS has unrivaled success in the last 4 years, but Swifties let recency bias cloud their judgment. Just say TS is someone you enjoy listening to over others and keep it moving. But I will say TS's greatest impact is ushering in younger female artists and getting people to seriously care about teen drama genre songs. It's why Driver's License by Olivia Rodrigo was taken seriously. In the TRL days, younger female talent was often mocked and criticized. And now we see Gracie Abrams getting Grammy noms. The whole list is fraudulent, if you ask me. Nicki Minaj was too low. Usher was too high. Katy Perry at dead last under One Direction is insane. And then they finally end it with, all caps, excellent content, ladies.
Woo! Okay, I love to see it.
I love a novel in the comment section. I really do, because it just shows you care. You listen to the whole thing, and then you gave us your thoughts and your feedback. And look, I appreciate it. So, what do you think about that? Many points were made. What stuck out to you?
I mean, I agree with a big chunk of it. Like, there were points that I feel like we didn't even touch on that were made in there. That was a college course on Truly. Beyonce and Taylor.
Yeah.
Wow.
I liked the argument about the 4 quadrants. So let's revisit what they say the 4 quadrants are. They say 1 is basically artistry. Mm-hmm. 2 is marketing.
Okay.
3 is singing and dancing, so your actual performance. Mm-hmm. And then 4 is cultural impact. Now, are those the definitive 4? I don't know. But using them, they're saying Beyonce excels in all 4 quadrants, which I would agree with. I think from an artistry, marketing, performance, and cultural impact perspective, she excels. What I don't think I agree with is that Taylor only excels in 2 of the quadrants. They say that Taylor excels in 2 quadrants, the marketing piece and the cultural impact piece. But I guess they don't think Taylor excels in artistry and performance. And I would
3-hour performance without a break.
Yeah, I would disagree with that. I think I understand what they're saying, because as it relates to at least like singing and dancing, Beyonce is a stronger vocalist and she is a stronger dancer than Taylor. Sure. But I don't think that means Taylor doesn't excel at them. I think that means Beyonce is just like a beast at those things. Very few people match her at those things. But I personally still think I think Taylor has a lovely voice, and I think she puts in a lot of effort into her dancing. She's not a great dancer. I defy anyone to tell me that she's a great dancer, but she puts a lot of effort into it.
And there's a lot of like magic. I can't get the word, but there's a lot of magic to what they do on stage, because like they're moving like chess pieces, and so there's a lot more like there's Easter a lot of egg.
Yeah, there's a lot of thought that goes into it, and she puts a lot of effort behind it, and I think it pays off, right? I think she puts on a great show. Is she as strong of a dancer or vocalist as Beyonce? No. We know a lot of her strength is in songwriting, but I think it pays off. So I would say she does still excel. I mean, I think the skill level it takes and the stamina it takes to put on the 3.5-hour show each night, and with the dancing and everything else, I think a lot of people underestimate how hard that is. Like it might look like something you could do, but if you actually got up to do it, you'd fail. Okay.
I've tried for TikToks. Okay, I've tried to learn some of the choreo for the Eras Tour,
absolutely.
And it's so hard.
I played a 5-song Taylor Swift set for my birthday for my friends. It was not easy, and it was 5 songs, folks. Okay.
Oh wow.
5 songs. It was not easy.
It's hard.
So I do think she's operating at a level of excellence for her performances and definitely for her artistry, because I think artistry includes songwriting, and I think she's one of the greatest songwriters in a generation. So
For
I
sure.
would disagree. I understand what they're saying because they're very different artists, but I think they both check the boxes in all four of those quadrants.
Yeah, I agree. I think they do too. I also liked how they were saying that Beyonce pulled from some of the more classic pop stars like Tina Turner. 'Cause that's something
Totally.
I didn't really notice before, but definitely true. Whereas I
Yeah.
feel like Taylor kind of paves her own way with something a little bit different. You could totally tell Beyonce takes from pop stars in a good way, not in like a rip off kind of way.
No, yeah, you can see Beyonce's cultural influences, and she gives a lot of credit to her cultural influences, including by
sure.
putting them on her albums
Mm-hmm.
and sampling them. And when she samples, she literally gives a songwriting credit to every single person who was a part of the original song,
Yeah.
which is why you saw for her song Energy, which sampled Khalees's Milkshake. Khalees didn't write Milkshake, but she still gave Khalees a songwriting credit because it was her song,
Yeah.
even though she didn't write it. So you see her not just like being influenced, but giving credit to all of her cultural influencers, which I do
Yeah.
think is really special. And I agree, she is the moment. And you do see a lot of these girls walking around in leotards and dancing in leotards because because of Beyonce.
For sure.
And you see people releasing their version of the visual album because of Beyonce. So I there's a lot that this person said that I do agree with. I think both of them, like we spoke about, have just had huge impacts on the industry and on the culture. And I also agree with the point they made, which was if it was just meant to be a list of who's most successful by the numbers, then there's no point in having a list because we could just go look at the stats.
Yeah,
right? Like
that is very true. Yeah.
That's obvious.
I also like to highlight that they said Billboard, the whole list, and then pitting people against each other is just like garbage and trash. And so that's true. I think it was just to rile people up.
Yeah. I mean, because really, we didn't need the list. I think we all know Beyonce and Taylor are in leagues of their own. Like,
absolutely.
But, and yeah, some of the other points that they made towards the end, I think I actually agree with most of what they said here at this last little paragraph. They said, Nicki Minaj was too low. I think that's probably right. Usher was too high. That might be right. Katy Perry under One Direction is insane. Agreed. Katy Perry,
that was crazy.
Say what you want about her, but her under One Direction.
Right. Well, say what you want about Katy Perry, but the impact.
Impact.
I mean, you can't deny that.
No,
she was a part of the culture.
Teenage Dream still goes hard, as we spoke about on this very show.
I was about to say that. All of those songs go really hard. It's just the last album that's a little whack.
Yeah. The last album is whack, but you know, so I just think in general, I appreciate this novel. Justine Spears, thank you for leaving it. You made a lot of great points in here, and even the ones we disagree with, like that's what this is for. It's for discourse.
Yeah. And when you're sitting in the comment section and you're like, I'm not sure what I should write, I don't want to write too much. There's never too much. Always leave us a novel. We love to read it.
We absolutely love it. And then I'm going to hop over to TikTok and read some of the comments over there. I especially loved one of the posts was about how we said we all need to link up and just go after Kanye.
Yeah. And I stand by that.
I stand by that. We need to just link up. Yeah. Kanye is the villain. That was our most viewed TikTok from this past episode. Yeah. And here's a sampling of some of the comments people said. Yes to all of this. Let's link up. Men ruined a woman's time. I'm here for vilifying Kanye.
Yes.
If Kanye West has no haters, I'm dead.
I like that
one. Kanye ruined the moment for both women. I truly believe he is jealous of both of them. Both fandoms were robbed. So basically, people just agree. Kanye is the villain. Let's go after Kanye.
For sure. Yeah. He always has been, always will be. I mean, he even does this for men, not just women. He really ruins a moment. You remember when he got up on TV and was like, George Bush is like the worst or whatever? It was like SNL or like, it was like something so
it was
somber.
It was on a hurricane
Telethon?
relief effort for
Right.
Hurricane Katrina.
You're right. You're right. And it was supposed to be like this nice somber like thing, and I just remember I think it was Mike Myers just being mortified. And it's like hard to make a comedian be like
I will say I personally wasn't mad at him for that, because the exact quote was, George Bush doesn't care about black people, and I think a lot of black people agreed.
Wait, the message was okay. It wasn't the message,
but it was like, he definitely did it in the most disruptive way possible.
And it was like what Mike Myers went through in that moment. He was like, did not know what to say. He was so unprepared. He was like,
yeah. Kanye has been doing that since forever, since the very beginning.
Yeah.
He's been getting on stages and like just taking the moment and making it all about him and whatever it is he wants to say. Yeah, that absolutely has been.
It's like Kanye. Even a message that everyone agrees with, we still can't get on board. He's the only person that could do that.
Kanye, we're so basically we're all in agreement. Let's link up and vilify Kanye.
Yeah, always.
Everyone agrees on that. And then the second most watched video was I posted about people not giving Taylor enough credit for her contributions to the music industry as it relates to taking her music off Spotify and protesting for fair payment. So some of the comments we got on that video were actually, I liked this one because I hadn't thought about this, but this person, Ukulele K, says, not only that, but many producers and record labels have also said how Taylor writing her own music impacts the industry, and how a lot of music you see these days was made possible because of her. Because artists feel like they can write their own music, they can explore that option, which wasn't the norm. They've used her as a blueprint. So I hadn't thought about that, but I do. And I hadn't necessarily heard that, but assuming it's true, that does make sense to me, because I do feel like in a lot of ways, pop music was so much of a machine. It was like you get handed the pop hits. I mean, you even, I think, see this with Beyonce's career. I feel like prior to her fourth album, there was a lot more of her being handed songs. And after 4, I feel like that's when she really took over creative control and was like, no, I want to make songs the way I want to make them. So I think this person is kind of referencing like it was more the norm in pop music for people to be handed songs, and Taylor normalized, no, I want to not only be one of the writers, I want to be the primary writer, and in some cases the only writer on my songs, and they're still going to be able to deliver, and her impact and helping other artists feel like that's something that they also are able to do. Like that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. I feel like often they're told like, you can't write your own songs because they're not going to be a hit, and like we won't put them on the album, like type thing. And this maybe has opened it up where they feel more comfortable allowing these artists to express themselves more because it worked for her and people still like the music. So why wouldn't it work for someone else, you know?
Yeah, totally.
I never thought about that.
Oh, another person brought up, this person's name is Positivity Attempts. They say she had protection for other artists written into her UMG contract too, which is another thing that I hadn't heard. But again, assuming it's true is really, really dope. And I also saw this person was also correcting us, saying someone named Beck Boosky, Apple's music trial was actually 3 months, not 1 month. So that was, and they were going to not pay for the full 3 months of the trial, which is a long time. So thank you for the correction. So I mean, I think a lot of people agreeing she not only impacted the industry, but impacted it positively for other artists.
Yeah. I think the biggest takeaway here is Billboard and Kanye are big villains. Right? Overall.
Yeah, 100%. So thank you guys for all of the comments as always. Thank you for engaging. I'm glad that last episode landed the way we intended it to, which was a celebration of both women, because there's so much to celebrate.
Yeah, I was so nervous about it. So I'm glad that we can all agree.
Me too. Well, are you ready to get into...
Well, no, I'm nervous about this one.
I know.
I'm just as nervous, if not more nervous, for what we're about to talk about.
I don't want to talk about it.
No, I feel like someone's going to show up my house and tell me to stop talking about it. I'm getting nervous.
I know. So, for those of you who haven't seen the news, Beyonce's husband, Jay Z, has been officially named in a lawsuit as a co defendant with Diddy for sexually assaulting a minor, a 13-year-old, in the year 2000. That is what the suit claims. I did not go and read the lawsuit. You can. It's public filing. Did you go and read it?
I read some part of the original lawsuit because I read most of them back to back. Because if I'm going to talk about a lawsuit, I like to really know what I'm talking about.
Smart.
But I could be wrong about this, but I'm pretty positive this was an original lawsuit that was amended to add him in. And I think that also there was another person involved who already has settled, is what I heard. Now, I'm not sure if that's 100% true.
I hadn't heard that, but I did hear that when the lawsuit was originally filed, it named Diddy, and then it said an unnamed celebrity male figure.
And then I think what they did was they tried to get him to go into a mediation, and he refused. And so now they've added his name.
Exactly. So they went to Jay-Z, and this is according to Jay-Z. The lawyer, Tony Busby, sent a demand letter to Jay-Z, basically demanding some form of payment in order to not be named in the lawsuit. Jay-Z then countersued under a John Doe filing. So he didn't name himself, but countersued, essentially saying, you're trying to extort me with these false claims. That was 3 weeks ago. So that countersuit was 3 weeks ago. And then as of, I think it was yesterday or maybe it was Sunday, is when we got the news that Jay-Z had officially been named.
Yes.
So first of all,
you read this statement, right?
I did read his statement. And actually, let's read his statement. I do want to read his statement.
Please
because
read it.
these are incredibly serious allegations. And none of us knows anything, right? None of us knows anything about what did or didn't happen.
Yeah, this is just our opinions about it.
So, okay, here is Jay-Z's statement that was posted on Rock Nation. And he posted this 2 days ago. My lawyer received a blackmail attempt called a demand letter from a lawyer, he put that in air quotations, a lawyer named Tony Busby. What he had calculated was the nature of these allegations and the public scrutiny would make me want to settle. No, sir, it had the opposite effect. It made me want to expose you for the fraud you are in a very public fashion. So no, I will not give you one red penny. These allegations are so heinous in nature that I implore you to file a criminal complaint, not a civil one. Whomever would commit such a crime against a minor should be locked away. Would you not agree? These alleged victims would deserve real justice if that were the case. This lawyer, who I have done a bit of research on, seems to have a pattern of these type of theatrics. I have no idea how you have come to be such a deplorable human, Mr. Busby, but I promise you I have seen your kind many times over. I'm more than prepared to deal with your type. You claim to be a Marine. Marines are known for their valor. You have neither honor nor dignity. My only heartbreak is for my family. My wife and I will have to sit our children down, one of whom is at the age where her friends will surely see the press and ask questions about the nature of these claims and explain the cruelty and greed of people. I mourn yet another loss of innocence. Children should not have to endure such at their young age. It is unfair to have to try to understand inexplicable degrees of malice meant to destroy families and human spirit. My heart and support goes out to the true victims in the world who have to watch how their life story is dressed in costume for profitability by this ambulance chaser in a cheap suit. You have made a terrible error in judgment thinking that all celebrities are the same. I'm not from your world. I'm a young man who made it out of the Project of Brooklyn. We don't play these types of games. We have very strict codes and honor. We protect children. You seem to exploit people for personal gain. Only your network of conspiracy theorists, fake physics, will believe the idiotic claims you have levied against me that, if not for the seriousness surrounding harm to kids, would be laughable. I look forward to showing you just how different I am.
I have so much to say about this. I said a little bit on my TikTok, but first of all, it just felt like it was written in haste. The original was deleted, and then a line was added at the end. He reposted it. So like he even, I think, felt like maybe he posted it in haste because he added a little to it at the end. What do you think? I want to know everything you think.
I have so many thoughts.
Mhm.
Well, the first thing I'll say is I personally dislike discussing Jay-Z in relation to Beyonce because I think I'm not stating that right. Basically, I know that people will try to make this thing that happened to Jay-Z about Beyonce. And
Mhm.
I fear that us talking about it on the podcast does the same thing, makes
Mhm.
something that is his issue her issue. And
Mhm.
I generally speaking, I don't like to do that. But the reason why I think we sort of have to talk about it, there are two things. One, I know it's going to be brought up, right, as it
Yeah.
relates to her. And I know
It
that
already
people are
has, yeah.
right are
Mhm.
gonna sort of want to know, like, and so what's your take on this? Because you talk about how much you love Beyonce and everything else. So what's your take? So one, I know the conversation is going to be brought up around her, and I feel like because I know it is, I want to preemptively just sort of give my thoughts. Two, I have said in the past, you are the company you keep. And I have said that in relation to Taylor when
Mhm.
she was kicking it with Brittany Mahomes, who was a Trump supporter,
Mhm.
and when she obviously was in the relationship with Maddie Healy, who was proven to be
Yep.
racist and terrible. I have said, to a certain extent, you are the
Mhm.
company you keep. And
For
so
sure.
I would like Taylor to hold herself to, higher standards. And so if I'm going to say it about Taylor,
Yeah.
then I have to at least address it as it relates to Beyonce. It would be
Mhm.
unfair not to, right? So
Right.
I'll start with that, I guess, disclaimer out of the way. In terms of what I actually think, though, the
Mhm.
reason I feel like this situation is different, and I personally am not ready to cast any sort of conclusion about Jay-Z or therefore Beyonce's relationship with Jay-Z, is because
Mhm.
the things I said about Maddie Healy were based on the things
Mhm.
he said out of his own mouth. Okay.
Right.
Not
Mhm.
some rumors, not some allegations, things he actually said, racist things he said and did himself.
Yeah.
Same
Mhm.
with Brittany Mahomes. The judgment I made about her was based on the Trump posts she liked. Okay. And then the subsequent
Mhm.
things she said out of her own mouth.
Yeah.
So that to me is different from what we're seeing with Jay, which is an allegation.
Mhm.
There, so far, there's
Yeah.
no evidence. There's no actual person coming forward and claiming to be the victim. All of this is, anonymous Jane Doe
Mhm.
victims. And the only thing Jay has said is he's vehemently denied it.
Mhm.
So I don't feel like I can, as a result, be like, Jay is a bad person, because I haven't seen anything that's come out of his own lips or actions I've seen with mine own eyes
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah.
from him that makes me say, like, oh, this is definitively a
Mhm.
bad person. So because of that, I don't know that I feel like I can say much of anything. I don't
Mhm.
know. Obviously it's
Yeah.
terrible allegations, but like I don't actually know anything. They are at this point just allegations. We don't have any
So,
evidence. We
do
haven't,
you think he knows the girl's name? Because he's petitioning for them to release the person's name, and I was wondering, does he know, but they're not allowed to say? Because I thought that's how that worked.
Hmm. I don't know if he knows.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that part, but he said like, let there be light. If my name's in it, your name's going to be in it. So they're petitioning for her name to be released. So
Interesting.
we'll see how that goes.
Interesting.
But
Yeah.
in regards to his statement, what was your read on that? If it wasn't Jay-Z and it was just a stranger being accused, another celebrity, let's say,
Hmm.
what
Oh,
would
I
your
think it
read be
was a
on that?
terribly written statement. Like a
Okay.
terribly
It
written
was
statement.
giving nervous and
And
scared.
see, and I felt like it was giving just poorly written. I don't even like to me, given how serious these allegations are, if ever
Mhm.
you were going to take it through four different publicists, a legal team, a
Yes.
proofreader, a
That's what I'm
Vogue
saying.
editor,
Yeah.
everybody, Jay-Z. You could have called everybody
Right.
before you put this thing out.
Right.
Oprah, Obama, somebody
Mhm.
could have proofread this thing for you. It was giving like he typed it up real quick and
Yeah.
texted it out. And
Yeah.
I don't understand that for something
And then
this serious.
also he was like this lawyer claiming to be a Marine. Like, just to be clear, he's not claiming he was a Marine. Yeah,
he was a Marine. Yes,
it wasn't like stolen valor. He was a Marine.
Yeah, he was.
Which
he
in
was
response, that guy posted pictures of him being a Marine and wrote a
Right.
whole like thing, whatever.
Yeah.
What do you think about the Tina Knowles portion of this?
Oh yeah. So for those of you who didn't know, Tina Knowles, it came out that she had liked a post. There was a post that talked about Jay-Z being accused on Instagram, and she liked that post. Then later she came out and said she was hacked. Which
I'm sorry,
ma'am,
that's so funny. That part's so funny.
I don't understand claiming to be hacked when only one thing. Why would someone hack into your account and only do that one thing?
And just like one post about your son-in-law being I don't even want to say the word, as someone not great.
Yeah,
right?
It would have made way more sense for you to be like, that was an accident. I was reading it. I saw the post,
liked it,
and I accidentally liked it. First of all, that's way more believable. I have definitely accidentally liked things.
Right. I'm a chronic liker. Sometimes I just like things I barely even read.
Yeah. And you could have been trying to send it to someone. You could have been trying to save it, bookmark it for later, and you accidentally hit like, oh, those are much more believable, ma'am, than that someone hacked you to do this one thing.
Yes. I was thinking a few things about it. One, she probably has a team that runs her account, right? And it would be probably a more likely situation that someone from the team liked it, and then like they had to have a fight about it. Like, why were you on my account liking stuff like that, you know?
Yeah, I definitely think that's also a likely scenario, because if you have multiple people running an account, or if you're someone who operates in multiple accounts, sometimes I forget which account I'm in.
Totally.
I have on more than one occasion when now I don't even let myself get into the Minted Cosmetics Instagram. But every now and then I would get in there, because they would ask me to do like an IG live or something, and then afterwards I would forget to log out. So then I would get back on Instagram and post something, dumb,
pop culture or something,
right? And then be like, oh, snaps.
Yeah, I've done that on my personal page. Like, a lot of people on my personal page don't know about my account on TikTok, so like sometimes I'll post things over there by accident and be like, oh man,
yeah, exactly.
Now everyone's gonna know.
All of these are very believable, very reasonable explanations, but saying that you got hacked, ma'am, okay. So
and then her caption was like, don't play with me, you people better not play with me. I'm like, ma'am, you're playing with us. We are not playing with you. This isn't our fault that you like.
This is not our fault.
She gaslit us.
Yeah, but that said, I don't think she actually meant to like it. Like, there are some people who saw it and thought that meant she was saying like she has a problem with Jay. I don't think so. I don't think she has a problem with Jay.
I think it was an accident.
I think it was an accident. She either accidentally liked it, or someone on her team liked it, and she's embarrassed by that. But no, I don't. I think she supports Jay-Z. I genuinely do.
No, I just know Beyonce was like, what did you do on your right? TMZ just called me.
Oh my God. So yeah, I think the family is united on this front. I do think that.
So too.
But yeah, I thought that statement was poorly written. And
I didn't like that statement. And then they had a premiere last night for their daughter, making it way more awkward.
And that's the other thing. That's the other reason why I feel very uncomfortable discussing this. Like, they have kids. This is very real. Like,
because even if he did do it, right? Like, let's just imagine if he did do this and he's going to get in trouble for it or whatever. He still has a 13-year-old daughter or a 12-year-old daughter. And like, she didn't choose that for this to happen. That sucks. It just sucks.
It sucks. It sucks. So I personally, I don't have any thoughts on did he do it or did he not do it. I don't know. And that's how I feel about that. I do not know. And so I'm not going to speculate on it.
Yeah.
As it relates to Beyonce, it does not change how I personally feel about her, because I don't know. Yeah, she didn't do it. And by the way, I'm pretty sure this would have been before they met.
It was
the year 2000, because they started dating, I think, in like 02, 03.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
And I think they met in like maybe 2001, 2002, somewhere in there is when they met. So if this did happen, not only were they not together, they didn't even know each other. Right. So it doesn't change how I feel about Beyonce right now. Now,
Right,
who knows what's going to
yeah.
come out? But
Right.
currently,
Well,
it does not change how I feel about
the
Beyonce.
lawsuit apparently said that there was an unnamed celebrity woman in the room that watched. And so now we are, will we hear that name or will we not? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think it was Beyonce. So
No.
people speculating that it was
Definitely don't think
Beyonce.
it was
I
Beyonce.
definitely don't think it was Beyonce.
No.
No way.
Absolutely not.
Who
That
it
would be
was, I don't
insane.
know.
I don't know. It all makes me very uncomfortable.
Yeah, me too.
I'm just going to continue loving Beyonce because I do still love
Yeah.
Beyonce, hoping that she and her children are okay.
Yeah.
I
This
personally
isn't
thought
Beyonce's problem. It is because she's married to him, but
because she's married to him and
she didn't
and
make
these
that life
kids.
choice.
And what really makes me sad is I personally felt like maybe Blue was just frightened on the red carpet, but to me it looked like she wasn't able to like fully be happy in that moment.
Beyonce was the only person on that red carpet that I felt like put on a good face, a good show. And I think that she's just good at that because she's in show business and she's good at that. But I felt like Jay-Z had a face on and I felt like Blue had a face on. And it's much harder to hide your emotions and feelings at 12 years old.
Totally.
So,
I would have no idea.
It's got to be a devastating thing. I was actually shocked they all walked the carpet together. I get why, but I was like, I don't know that I could have done it.
Yeah, no, that made me genuinely sad
me too.
For Blue, for Beyonce. Like, God, I hate that. Oh, it makes me sad. So,
and what a big moment for her. It's like,
I know, what a big moment. That
like
honestly,
and
just
then Tina had to stand right next to him. By the way, not that scandal happening and Tina having to stand right next to him. That must have been the most awkward ride to the event of all time.
But I feel like she was like, I'm gonna stand next to you because again, I think she fully supports him. So I feel like she wanted to stand by him to make it clear, like what y'all are trying to insinuate is not true.
Yeah, it's still embarrassing.
Him. Yeah, it is embarrassing. It just, oh boy, I don't like it. Well, I would like to pivot to happy news about Beyonce, which is she is performing Christmas Day on Netflix, her halftime show for the Ravens versus the Texans. Okay. So I'm still extremely excited. It'll be the first time that she performs anything from Cowboy Carter live. So
is it in Houston?
It's in Houston.
Okay, because that's her hometown,
halftime. Right? Mm-hmm.
That's fun.
So I'm very excited for that. So I hope she's able to still be excited for that and still able to give us what we know is, what we have come to expect from a Beyonce live performance. I'm just, I would like to think about that.
This does not ruin any of that for her. Because I know that he's involved in all the Super Bowl halftime stuff, right?
He is, but this isn't Super Bowl. This is
just...
I
know, yeah.
Yeah, so
but
I don't
that's
think
an NFL connection, right?
It is, yeah.
So it's like, ugh.
Yeah.
But hopefully they don't penalize her for the things that he's being accused of.
Right. Let's hope, because it's been announced, and I'm sure the Netflix money, the check is cleared.
Yeah. So. yeah. Well, so I'll be watching that.
To that. Yeah, 100%. I don't know how, because we'll be at my parents' house and they don't have Netflix. And, Netflix now wants to charge you if you want to log into your account. And you know what? I might just let them charge me for the month so I can make sure I'm watching.
Can you do it on your phone?
Christmas Day. I could, but I don't want to do it on my phone.
Maybe if you put it on your phone, though, you can, what do you call that?
Yeah, like cast it up. Yeah. One way or another, if I have to run back across the street to my house to watch, I will.
Right.
Okay?
You live across the street. I'm thinking you're going out of state.
No, I literally live across the street. So if I have to run across the street, I will. Because
I don't blame you.
Definitely be watching. Mm-hmm.
For sure. That's so funny.
Beyonce girl, we wish you well.
We're thinking about you.
We're thinking about you, and I'm excited for this performance, but my God.
I don't know. I hate it. I hate the whole thing.
I hate it. Well, with that said, should we move it to our parking lot?
Yeah.
I thought we need to talk about the TikTok ban, which apparently is going through. How are you taking it? How are you taking this news?
Not well. No, no. I mean, like, I am actually taking it surprisingly well. I'm like, okay, this was a great time in my life. I had a lot of fun doing this, and
Yeah.
if it is going to come to an end, I have no control over that. So,
Yeah.
being overly upset about it isn't going to really change or fix anything for me. So I'm just going to try to ride out the month and then try to redirect everyone where I'm going to go. But I would be lying if I said that my content's going to stay the same and everything's going to be the same. It's just going to be a different place. It's not.
Yeah.
So I don't know how I'm personally going to pivot. It's going to be a change for me.
Yeah.
But I'm just going to try to roll with it, and also secretly hope deep down inside that something happens that it actually isn't going to get taken away. But I don't have high
Totally.
hopes. I don't.
Totally. Yeah.
What about you?
Well, I completely agree with what you said about like it's been such a fun ride, and I am so grateful. Like literally this time last year I had 30,000 followers on TikTok, and now at last I checked I'm at 284.
Oh, wow.
So
Congrats.
it has been an explosive year for me.
Yeah.
And TikTok is the reason I really fell down my Taylor Swift rabbit hole. TikTok is the reason I decided to start this podcast. TikTok is the reason I met you.
Yeah.
I've had just so much good come from the platform that
Same.
I think the primary thing I feel is gratitude. That and what I feel gratitude for isn't just like, oh, I've built this following and what have you. I honestly also feel gratitude because it kind of like unlocked a realization in me that I could build a platform like this. I didn't really know that. And so it does make me feel like I can do it again. Will it look the exact same? No, because if TikTok goes away, like none of these other platforms behave the same way. The algorithms don't behave the same way that TikTok does. And also it was like a magical moment and a lot was happening and discovering Taylor. I can't rediscover her music and blah, blah, blah.
Right. Yeah.
So I'm not saying it'll look the exact way, but now that I know it's a skill that I have, I do feel like I'll be able to build some form of a platform somewhere. So I'm glad that I learned that about myself, and I'm thankful I learned that about myself. But I am also feeling just like bummed, like TikTok it's been fun. It's been like a nice, fun corner of the internet. Has all of it been fun? No, but for the most part, it's been fun, and I'm just kind of bummed that it might, be going away.
I know. I'm in the exact same boat as you. I am bummed. But I'm just like, what else can we do but ride the wave? And when it ends, it ends. But it's been really fun. And oddly, it does give me or it did give me a sense of like confidence that maybe I didn't have before. And I don't know why that is. Maybe just connecting with people who have like similar views and are like, think things are funny that I think are funny. But yeah, it did kind of give me like an odd sense of, I can do this. People do want to listen to me kind of thing,
Yeah. I agree. It's validating, I think, in
for
that
sure.
way. Yeah. And I will say I haven't done the thing where, you post, everyone come follow me on these socials, nor have I started ending all of my videos with like all of my handles, which is something I'm seeing a lot of people do.
Right.
And, frankly, it's not because I think there's anything wrong with that. I plan to do that when we get really down to the wire. But right now I'm just living in denial that like the ban is going to be reversed somehow. The Supreme Court is going to give us an extension, or some people are saying they think Biden will extend it before he leaves, like to give the company more time.
I don't know.
So, because the date is January 19th, and that's literally one day before the inauguration. And I don't know. A part of me feels like, there are 170 million Americans on TikTok. So
and
a part
of
me feels like,
businesses.
who wants to be responsible for that? For shutting down something that half the country is on, and that $10 billion of revenue flows through and tons of small businesses rely on. So because I'm just assuming, or not assuming, but hoping somebody will make it go away right now, I'm not treating it as if it's going to be banned. At some point I will. Like if we get to January 18th and no one has said anything, that I'm just going to be pushing out videos like, please follow me on YouTube, please.
Totally. Like I did make like a preemptive, like, I'm pretty sure we're going to be leaving. This is like where I'll be, and like a thank you. But I'll probably have to do it again If
Probably.
that's what it's gonna come down to on the
Yeah.
18th. I don't know. I
Yeah.
don't know where we'll be at.
Yeah.
Mm.
It really, it's sad if it does come to an end.
I
It's
know. I
sad.
hate
It's
it
like
so
a year
much.
from now, we'll all be like, TikTok was just a fever dream that we all
No,
participated in together.
right? I know. And I like currently do this like full time. So I'm like, what am I gonna do with my time? Like I'm gonna have to
Yeah.
like pivot. I don't know. Because
Yeah.
I just don't like Instagram as much.
No, I hate
It's just not the
Instagram.
vibe.
Although I invite all of you to follow me over there, but
Yeah.
I don't know what you're going to see because
Yeah.
I rarely post. But I guess if TikTok goes away,
Yeah, and if you currently follow me, like my current plan right now is probably to like obviously put some stuff up on YouTube like maybe once a week, but like to move most of my commentary onto my Instagram story. I think that's
mm-hmm.
probably what I'm going to do. It's just not going to be the same.
Yeah, it really isn't.
No.
I think at this point I'm used to just posting my daily TikToks. It's got
Me
to go
too.
somewhere, so I guess ittle go on
Right, and me too.
Instagram.
That's what I'm saying. I post
Um,
like 6 times a day. I'm like, what am I going to do with myself?
oh, so
Yeah,
I didn't know you posted that frequently. I
I
only
post
do
a
one
lot.
TikTok a day. So, but I'm used to doing it once a day.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I'm
that's been
just
my
gonna
routine for like
sit
2.5 years.
Wow.
It's been a long time. I've never taken a day off, I don't think. Not one day
Oh
off.
my God.
Mhm.
Wow. How did I
I
not know that about you? I guess
I don't know.
I just
I pump
assumed,
out the content.
yeah, I was just like, oh, I guess I see her daily videos, but no, I'm not getting served 6 of your videos a day. So must
Yeah.
be a lot I'm not seeing.
Yeah, probably. Oh, man.
Oh,
It's a lot.
wow. Well, let's keep our fingers crossed. And
Yeah.
also, to all of you, of course, Erica and I would love for you to follow us everywhere.
Mhm.
My IG, which I never say, is just my name, KJ Miller. So if you want to follow
Mhm.
me over there, please feel free. My YouTube is I am KJ Miller, and I'm on Blue Sky now, which is also
Yeah, me too.
I am KJ Miller. So follow me on all of those places.
Yeah. And all my handles are pretty much the same. I'm Let a Bitch Know on YouTube. I'm Let a Bee Know on Instagram because they don't like curse words over there. So, so whenever there's a platform that doesn't like a curse word, I'm a Let a Bee Know.
Yeah,
But I'm on Blue Sky too. Yeah.
yeah.
I
Come
can't
find
figure it
us.
out, but I'm over there.
It
Mhm.
hasn't landed quite yet for me. I don't
Mhm.
necessarily dislike it, but it is not a platform I find myself feeling like I need to go back
Right.
to. We'll see if
Mhm.
it
I'm on
gets
Threads
better.
also. Threads is pretty nice. I like it over there. Everyone over there is pretty funny.
I'm on Threads, but I
Mhm.
never got into Threads. I joined it when it first
Mm.
launched, and every time I went over, I just felt like I was bored. I don't
Oh
know.
yeah.
Maybe I
Now
gotta
I think
find.
it took a while, but I think my algorithm now is like feeding me exactly what I want to see because like pretty much it's all jokes. And this week it's
Oh,
all about the UHC assassin. It's just
oh
like all
yeah.
jokes about him. It's like every single one. I'm like, this algorithm really knows what I like as humor.
Interesting. Maybe I'll give it another
Mhm.
try. Yeah, I'm on
Yeah.
there, but I never go over there. So, anyway, find us on your favorite app. Hopefully,
Yeah.
TikTok survives, but if it doesn't, we'll be making content in other places.
Yeah.
YouTube will most certainly be my primary
Yeah,
focus.
I think so, mine too.
Um, but yeah, come find us.
That's it for this week, everyone. Be sure to follow us on TikTok at Two Queens, Two Crowns, and to check out the podcast on YouTube, Two Queens, Two Crowns.
Erica and I would also love for you to follow us on our personal socials. I'm on TikTok at IAM_KJ Miller and YouTube with the handle I am KJ Miller. And Erica's on IG at Let a Bee Know and TikTok at Let a Bitch Know. We'll see you next week.